So, Mr. Danesh Raman, we have 12 public holidays.
12 too many.
Too many. Why would you say it's too many?
Elsaby, let's be honest. The only reason why you like public holidays is because if you do a shift on a public holiday, you get double pay.
But isn't that a good thing?
Am I allowed to tell my student story?
Yes, you may.
Okay, and I'm sure the young people will enjoy this one. When I was a student, a full-time student for 7 years, so my family didn't have the money to keep me there or to send me to university. I had to work for it from the end of my first year. And I was a truck driver.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I sit driving thousands of kilometers all over southern Africa with frozen cargo between Johannesburg and East London Harbour, the city deep abattoir.
Yeah, abattoir. Yeah.
In Johannesburg, and it's very interesting. You had an 18-hour window from you left City Deep in Joburg. Within 18 hours, you had to stop in East London to discharge that frozen meat cargo, because you didn't have those Thermo King units in those days. I'm talking 1979, 1980, 1981. It's probably before you were born.
Yes.
So the cargo was loaded at City Deep in Joburg, frozen and sealed. And then you had 18 hours, then you had to clock in at East London Harbour, and they would not open that thing. It just goes into the ship's hold, which is like a big refrigerator. So what's very important for me, and what I remember very well from those days, the old toppies, they didn't want to work on Christmas Day and on Boxing Day and on New Year's Day. And I, young man, and very poor,
eager.
I had to, very eager, but I had to work. I did double shifts on 3 days at double pay. So I got about 3/4 of the income for the whole university holiday came from 3 days. So you can imagine, I love to, I mean, if you're a truck driver, that part through Joburg in the traffic, that is difficult, you know. You have to know what you're doing. But once you're outside the cities or the big towns, you're on the open road.
Yeah.
It's not a strenuous job. It's a very strenuous job in the traffic, in the city. So this comes back to what can we do about the retail situation that we find ourselves in? Because if you look at the number of public holidays, you will see that there is a very marked, very definite, observable seasonality to it. There are 12 public holidays in the whole year, and 11 of them are from December to May, those 6 months.
Yeah.
And from June to November, there's only one public holiday, the 26th of August. But so you can immediately see that the calendar year splits sort of naturally into two halves, although they're not exactly January, June, July, December. They're more December, May, June, November. And that is why I'm making an issue about public holidays. Let's step outside retail just for a moment to use an example. If you look at automotive cars, which is now high value goods,
Yes.
and if the performance of the automotive sector is directly proportional to the number of public holidays, because you can't sell cars on public holidays.
Yeah.
So they dread this part from December to May.
Shame.
It's a poor part of the year for them, but they love that half from June to November because there's only one public holiday. You know, and car sales are really directly determined by the number of trade days. So you say, no, you want more public holidays. Why? So that you don't want a holiday, you want the opportunity to book double pay.
Yes, of course.
To book a shift. And I think there are thousands of people like you, because I just told my truck driver story. it was the same thing.
Yeah.
I love public holidays because I book double shifts at double pay. So it was, from a financial point of view, a very big benefit for me. So I can't, from an ethical point of view, stand in the way of anybody that say, I want more public holidays so that I can work more at a higher income level,
Yes.
because that's the issue. It's an economic issue. You know, it really revolves about the finances at family level, and not about sitting at home and drinking beer and doing nothing. So I say no, there are too many,
Okay.
or at least they are, the way that they are spaced is very often inconvenient from an economic performance point of view.
Yeah.
But many of the public holidays are historical. You know, so
Of course,
you can move Easter around according to the Jewish calendar and according to the full moon. Blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. That happens every year. Easter is never on the same
Consistent,
weekend or the same day. But you can't move Kasinga Day.
Yeah.
You know, it's set at that very specific day. You can't move Workers' Day. The only nice thing this year is that in May, I always dread May, you know, because then everybody who works on a public holiday has to be paid double.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm looking now from the opposite side of
Yeah.
of the table. But also the number of trade days are very reduced. So, you can go and sit in your office, unless you are in broadcasting, where you can say something on the radio for the whole nation to hear. If you're selling stuff, it doesn't help you to go to the office and there's nobody to sell to.
Yeah.
It's public holiday. Everybody is at home. But for the supermarkets, again, it's two sides of a coin. The supermarkets, they have to pay everybody who works on that day double pay. And remember, they've got long shifts, morning shift and an afternoon shift.
Yeah.
So it's two sets of employees that earn double pay on every public holiday. But if you go to Marua on a public holiday, what do you see? Thousands of people.
Yep.
So it costs them more, but they also sell more.
More, yeah.
Yeah. So I think from a retail perspective, the impact of the public holidays are relatively minor. From an employee perspective, it's very good if your company allows you to work on a public holiday, or if like I did, you can book double shifts. You know, but you have to be realistic. There's also a very strong dampening effect on the sales of the shops.
Yeah.
Meaning it affects retail negatively.
Also.
Yeah.
We have come to the end of EconoChat Let's Talk Business with Mr. Daniel Steinman. You can, of course, meet us again next week, same time, same place. And we will have more interesting talks for you in terms of the economy. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel Steinman. And thank you to our listeners.